overnight, the Pentagon has ordered a review into the AUKUS submarine pact. Richard Marles says there's nothing to worry about. This is just the natural order of things. Former Australian ambassador to the US, Joe Hockey, joins me now. How worried should we be, Joe?
Well, I don't think we should be overly worried, but we should be involved in contributing to that review. And during the discussions in the next week, Laura, between the Prime Minister and the President of the United States, it's important that the Prime Minister emphasise in relation to AUKUS that we're not just writing a cheque, but we're actually directly in the supply chain for the enhancement of the US Navy. One of Australia's companies, a listed company in Australia, Austal, is in fact has a $12 billion order book in Alabama and is helping to build the Virginia-class submarines, which the US really needs and wants, and probably has been one of the reasons why they're having this review.
Yeah, they wanted to fit into the America First policy set by Trump and made as one of his priorities for this term. But, I mean, a review is one thing, but getting Eldridge to do it is a whole other thing, because he's not a big fan of AUKUS. Do you read it like that?
Well, yes. The question is how much the rest of the Department of Defence knew about this review, and that's an open question. There's no doubt that the Secretary of the United States Navy, Secretary Phelan, is very supportive of AUKUS. I believe Secretary Hegseth, Department of Defence Secretary, is the same. I know Donald Trump supports AUKUS. And there's no doubt about Congress and the Senate. I was there just a few weeks ago, met with a number of key senators, Democrats and Republicans, including Senator Wicker, and they're emphatically supporting AUKUS. But you have to pay your way, and Australia is paying its way. The United Kingdom just announced a massive increase in their defence expenditure, including very real commitments to new technology. Australia is lagging behind and needs to get on with the job of building the submarine base in Perth at Henderson. We need to get on with the job of preparing for the arrival of the Virginia-class subs in the early 2030s, and we're not there yet.
Could this be leverage as well? As you say, Hegseth raised with Marles directly the level of defence spending, 3.5% of GDP. Do we need to get there to ensure AUKUS remains?
Well, I'm in part with Prime Minister Albanese on this, that, just plucking a number out of the air is not necessarily the answer. But what is the answer is to have the right technologies, to be a contributor, and to make sure we build our industrial base. This is something I'm going to say a bit more about next week in Canberra. We have no industrial base of substance at the moment. We have one potential military prime, Austal, which is subject to a hostile takeover from Hanwha, a Korean company. And it's in the hands of the Australian government about whether we let our last remaining shipbuilder and the third biggest naval shipbuilder in the United States go into foreign hands. And that is a very big challenge for the Albanese government that people aren't paying attention to, because we expect Austal in Western Australia to build the $10 billion of frigates, which are now subject to decision by the government. But also, we've learnt from Ukraine, if you don't make your own weapons, if you don't build your own military, then you can't necessarily rely on foreigners to pick up the tabs when you really need it. We have witnessed in the last few weeks Ukraine and Israel using their own domestic technology to protect their people. And the question is, do we have that in Australia, or are we going to continue to be almost entirely reliant on foreigners providing us with the technology when we need it?